Hello everybody and welcome to another video update. Like buses, you say? Exactly. You never get one for a while and then two come along at once. I think I mentioned it in the last video update that I did earlier this week that... was it earlier this week or was it last week? I can't remember now. Time has passed. But anyway, the recent one. I did mention, I think, that I was having my follow-up hospital appointment today. Where I got my where I would get my results about the whole blood clot situation, which I'll harp on about because it's the main theme of this video update. But before I get to that and give you the update and give you the news, which you're probably all thinking, well, just get to the news now. We want to know. Spot my face still. Screenshot. First of all, word of warning. It's a bit late for King Lemon and this individual in a minute, which I'll name. Because I've already used yours with kind of that your permission, really, which is a bit naughty. But I've done it in the proviso that you wouldn't mind, because I'm going to give you a shout out because I really like the screenshots. But word of warning: if you're going to put screenshots in that Discord server, that I might use them. So do so at your own risk. But it's The Witcher 3. I love The Witcher 3, and this screenshot captures my mood quite nicely for this moment in time, because it's a sunrise, I believe this is. There's the backdrop, the scenery. You can just picture yourself sat there with a campfire, or even just stood there like Geralt is now, and just reflecting on either the past or the future, what's to come. Just having that moment of reflection during this fantastic scene. To just kind of have a think about things. So this captures my current mood perfectly. And I thought, I have to use it. And the individual that posted this, Ian Fan. So thank you, Ian, for two reasons. Ian Fan, first of all, for posting this screenshot, because it's fantastic. It's my favourite game of all time. I still maintain that. And I'm still firm in that in that view. Close second is CK2 if you're interested, but yeah, this is definitely number one. So yeah, that's the first reason why I really, really like it. Why I need to thank you, sorry. But the second reason is for your continued viewership and membership on the Discord server and on the YouTube channel. You've watched for a long time. You make a lot of comments on videos and contribute to the Discord server. So a big thank you for being part of the community. It is very, very much appreciated. So yes, I've used your screenshot. Hope you don't mind, but I wanted to give you some shout outs there. But also use it because it's just so fantastically fitting for this particular video. Right. Okay. So now that's out of the way. Hospital appointment. To set the scene for those of you that might not have been subscribers or followers back in January, or may have forgotten, because, hey, I almost have. No, have I? No, really. But, yeah, back in January, struck down out of the blue as somebody who is relatively fit and healthy. You can't see my entire body here, and I don't, but I am in good shape. I exercise regularly, and I'm talking 6 times a week, either 3 times a week football, 3 times a week cardio-based kind of strength plyometric stuff that I do at home. So I work out relatively often. I eat healthily for the most part. I have Friday and Saturdays where I'm a bit less healthy, and I do drink on the Friday and Saturday. I try not to drink in the week anymore, but I'm generally speaking a person that does look after themselves from food and exercise fronts. What I didn't do to look after myself at the back end of last year was, due to working from home, being sat down for far too long. For long periods of time, I would be sat in this very chair and not move because I was so busy working from home, log on at 7, working feverishly. By the time you know it's 3:30, you've not even got to go to the toilet or have anything to eat because you've had your breakfast at the first thing in the morning, and then you don't have your lunch at all. You skip lunch and you're working away and you think, oh, it's now 3:30. I've started at 7. Time to finish. Laptop goes to the side. Right, what shall I do? Let's do some LPing. So then you start putting your LP on. And before you know it, you've sat down without moving for 9-10 hours. Now, if you do that on an aeroplane or coach or whatever, it's obvious. Keep yourself moving. You're going to get a DVT or anything by not moving. Doing it in the comfort of your own home, you don't have that same kind of link. That was the only reason that we could come up with at that time for the cause of these of these 2 clots in my lungs that I developed, that I found out about in January due to a very fortunate, I suppose, episode of coughing up the most smallest amounts of blood after having a cold, of all things. But anyway, that's how it got diagnosed, and that's when it happened. Since then, I've been on blood thinning medication, 20 milligrams of the stuff, to be taken once a day with food. And I shouldn't be playing football, really, but I started playing football in April because I couldn't take not playing football any longer, and the hospital cocked up by telling me that I was only going to be taking the pills for 3 months before a follow-up appointment, and they should have told me 6, by the by. But so that's why I started playing football. And obviously, once I started and found out that they made a mistake about that, I still couldn't then stop again, so I just continued playing. So, July comes round. They wanted to test as a final check for any kind of genetic disorders, any issues for serious bone marrow disorders, haemophilia type issues, anything that could cause these, underlying issues that could cause these that are not obvious from a CT scan or a blood or just general tests like ECG and stuff that they did. So this was the final sign off. Waited 12 weeks for the results, hence why I went from today. It might even be longer than 12 weeks now. I should have had them within 4, but hey, again, that's the NHS. They're under the cosh at the moment, and I don't blame the NHS for that. It's a funding issue, obviously. So, yeah, results day. I sit down, and in my own mind, I'm not a worrier, and perhaps I haven't taken this issue quite as seriously as I should, but I have taken it with some semblance of seriousness, hence why I've changed my lifestyle a little bit, height adjustable desk, get up and move about a lot more now. I haven't increased my fluid intake as much as I should, but hey, I'm going to have to take that on board and start doing that. I'm made some little changes to keep myself active and keep myself moving, which is a big thing now, especially now that you've had blood clots and you're at heightened risk of any future ones, for example. So I sit down in the chair, and I've got in my mind, I'm fit and healthy. I've taken the medication. I've taken it for 9 months. I'm good to go. Sign me off. Let me get my life back to normal. Thank you very much. Back to the football field, and woohoo, happy days. I have to remember to take a pill every flipping morning. It's not a problem. Apparently it is a problem. Right, so the results. Nothing abnormal in terms of any of the disorders they were testing for. No issues genetically, no issues with bone marrows, no issue with the blood itself, no haemophilia kind of issue. Every syndrome thing that could cause blood clots that's serious, they tested for nothing. So I'm thinking, it's a good start, doctor. That's a good start. But why is there a red number on that screen? Because she had the screen facing me, you see, with all the different results on. I said, I didn't say it, but I'm thinking, there's a red number there, doctor. Red does not usually mean good, does it? And then she got to the last test, and the final test that we did, of course, was the D-dimer, the D-dimer test, or whatever it's called, something like that. I googled it earlier. D-dimer, I think it's called. And that is a test that tests for a certain protein in your blood, which is a protein that forms as a result of clots, either being there or having been there and been broken down. And if it's high, then it's an indication, not necessarily that you've got blood clots there and then, which it was when I was first tested in A&E in January, because that was the test that showed them that count was high, and therefore they scanned me on, I had blood clots. But it's a test to suggest that you're at risk of developing blood clots. And the number, if it's above 250, it's high, and if it's below, it's low. Now, I tested 460 something, I think it was, in January. It was 600 and something from the test from July. So it's gone up, despite the fact that so I was like, okay, slight panic setting at that point. I was like, it's gone up. And she went, well, don't worry about that. She says the actual level of the count is not so important. It's either over or it's not. If it's over, you're at increased risk. If it's not, you're not. It's not like a sliding scale where if it's 1,000, you're on death's door, and if it's 400, you're not so much on death's door. It's just almost like a yay or nay kind of test. I thought, okay, well, why have a number? But anyway, so fine. Okay. So I said, right, what does that mean then? So basically what it means, and she got an app out on her phone, which was a rather interesting thing to have on an app. But anyway, it was high percentage risk of repeat blood clots if you don't have medication. So she put the result of the D-dimer test in this app and the count, put my age in it, and put, there's another test, what's the other one? Oh, and male. And then she hit calculate, and then she showed me the result. And this result was percentage chance of developing a blood clot without medication within 1 year. 20%. So I'm at risk, if I don't take any medication, of having another blood clot. And that could develop in any part of my body. It could be my leg, it could go somewhere innocuous, it could be, I could never know about it. Or it could alternatively develop and go into my heart and kill me. She wasn't quite as blunt as that, but you get the gist. So I got a 20% chance, unmedicated, to develop another blood clot within a year. I thought, okay, I'm a man that does maths. I'm a mathematician, I sports trade, I know all about probability. That's not particularly marvellous. If I was to roll a five-sided die, you can't, I don't even get five-sided, but if I was to roll even a six-sided die and it come up a 1, blood clot, I don't like those odds. I'd rather roll a d20 to see that, not a d6. To put it into tabletop parlance. So I thought, that's not good. And then she said, and this is a cumulative situation, which means that you've got a 40% chance of developing a clot within 2 years, and you therefore have an almost certainty, aka 100% chance of developing a clot within 5, unmedicated. And I thought, let me just let that sink in. So you're telling me, doctor, if I come off these pills within 5 years, I'm guaranteed almost to get another blood clot? You went, yeah. Oh, okay. So what you're telling me, doctor, is I've got to take these pills for life then, is what you're trying to tell me, isn't it, really? And yes, clearly it is. So, again, I'm not a worrier. Can't predict the future. But you can only risk manage. So she said, my recommendation at this point, given the results of these tests, is we don't know what's caused these blood clots. We don't know. There's no disorders. There's no good reason medically while you've had them. And she said it's not uncommon for that to be the case, other than you've sat down for too long. But the situation as we face now is you've had them, and because you've had them and your D-dimers are high and you're in the risk category of being under 50 but male, the numbers speak for themselves. You are at an increased risk of developing blood clots in the future. So you have to medicate. So she said, my recommendation is 20 milligrams for life, which is what I'm taking, or was taking, as of yesterday, up until yesterday. So I said, right, and she said, what's your thoughts on that? And I said, well, doctor, I know it's risk-reward and risk management and blah-de-blah-de-blah. However, I'm not overly happy with that. This is after being told I could have a blood clot within 5 years for certain. I'm not very happy with that, doctor, because I play football. And I said, I'm not going to lie to you, I have been playing football on these pills already. And it's because it's my main hobby. I didn't play football for 3 months, and I'm not being dramatic, it almost killed me. My mental health plummeted a little bit. It was agony. Absolute agony. So I said, and with these 20 milligrams, I'm at risk of increased bleed, hit the head. Ooh, it's a big serious issue. Got to go to A&E straight away. Internal bleeding. If somebody elbows me in the stomach or get an injury to the leg or whatever, and God forbid if I have an accident where I crash and cut myself. It's not great, is it? So she said, right, okay, as a compromise, she says, it's not my preference, but I am willing to sign off on this. You could take 10 milligrams, which is the lowest dose, and play football. You're still at an increased risk of the same kind of thing, but a lower risk of having internal bleeds and things because your blood isn't quite as anticoagulant or whatever. It coagulates, it clots a little bit better because it's not as, they're called blood thinners, but your blood doesn't technically go thinner. It's a lower dose, so you're not at a higher risk of bleeding or whatever internally. But on the flip side, of course, it puts you at a heightened risk of developing a clot because you're on a lower dose. That's your option. Take the 10s or take the 20s. But if you can walk out and not take any at all, but I've given you the risks. So I said, doctor, I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool. I'm going to obviously have to take some medication for the rest of my life. I'm not happy about that because, hey, this is how it starts. It starts off as this, and the next thing you know, I'll be on a bloody statin, and like my mother, I'll be rocking up to the security in an airport with a bag full of pills, looking like she's ready to smuggle half of Colombia out of the country. So not happy, but alternatively, I'm not a fool. So I said, you know what? I'll take the Tens. You don't have to take them with food. You can take them first thing in the morning, once a day. It's just the most tiniest pills that you can ever imagine. You can pop them without even water. They're that small. And I'm just going to have to get used to it. And I will be forever at a heightened risk of A, developing blood clots, and B, knocking myself and being at heightened risk of bleeding. It's just the way it has to be. So that is the update, my friends. Not the news I was expecting, not the news I was hoping for, but perhaps I misjudged the situation. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, I'm heightened risk and have to take the pills. But it's not the end of the world, is it? Really? Because it is what it is. As I like to put things into perspective, it could have been far worse. For me personally, and people are suffering far worse out there in the world. So I'll grin and bear it. But there you go. There is the health update, people. I won't harp on it any longer. I will just continue to do what I need to do, which is keep moving, drinking fluids, exercising, and taking my pills. And that's as much as I can do. The fact of the matter is, if I speak about it bluntly, is a clot could develop at some point in the future, unexpectedly, and do something untoward to me. It's just the way I have to come to terms with it. But hey. So there you go. Not too long a video update, and I didn't provide a timing on this one because I didn't know how long it was going to be. But I brought it in under 20, so I think that's a good result. So this is the first video of the day. I'm going to now sit down and record some Pathfinder Kingmaker because I just want to play something that's going to help me to have a nice afternoon. Because I've actually finished work early today. I'm recording this at 1:15, so I've had an early finish to have time to reflect and come to terms with what I've just been told this morning. So yeah, I thought I'd spend the afternoon playing what is my favourite game that I've played for a little while, and my favourite game, of course, at the moment. So a bit of Pathfinder, playing that and enjoying some of Elquist's antics this afternoon should help me to have a pleasant one. So you'll get some Pathfinder a little bit later too. So there you go, folks. Feel free to leave a comment if you need to. But otherwise, hopefully see you on the channel at some point. It is Wednesday today, and Wednesday is usually a stream day, but I'm playing football this evening to help a team out, so there's no stream, because it would have been quite nice to be able to stream this evening, probably have a couple of rooms and share this news with you in person, but that can't happen. So next stream is likely to be Sunday. It's likely to be Return to Monkey Island. The name always escapes me, and then we'll take it from there. So hopefully see some of you for some more pirating and point and click puzzle solving antics. And between now and then, you'll get a few more episodes of Pathfinder recording sessions. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, folks. And if anything, if this episode or this incident or this health related scare, if you will, it's not a scare anymore, it's reality, isn't it? But has taught me anything and should teach you anything, and this is my parting comment, is life is very short and precious, and I've spoken to two people this morning just to make things even worse, who have had either a loved one or a friend pass away quite suddenly recently. Life is short and life is for living. So I think my mantra going up, not that I'm somebody that kind of harps on or doesn't do what they wish, because in the past I've taken time out of work for like 16 months, left my job in the police with no job to go to. I'm quite a person that does do what I want to do most of the time, holidays twice a year, but it brings it even more to the fore that, if there's ever something that you're kind of thinking, should I, shouldn't I, I'm not sure, as long as it's not going to, cause anybody any detriment or cause you any detriment, whether mentally, financially, whatever, if you're thinking, should I, shouldn't I, if you're going to enjoy it, then just bloody do it. Just bloody do it, because you might put that off, and then before you know it, you don't get to do it for whatever reason, because things happen. So, life is there for life is there for living, isn't it? So that ends my reflective piece to this backdrop, and bloody voice is going now. I'll leave you with that. So until next time, my friends, keep healthy, keep moving. And if you have to scream at me in a stream to get up, because I've fallen back into old habits of not even having a break during streams and eating at my desk, which isn't helpful. So keep me in check and keep yourselves in check. Keep healthy, and until next time, see you soon. Oh, and it's now gone over 20 minutes. Damn.